So I had a call with my coach, Joshua. You guys know Joshua because we do this show on my channel on Tuesday nights called Nothing Remotely Controversial. But he is actually my coach in real life too, and we have a weekly call every single week to talk about what's going on, strategize, things like that. He helps me keep a positive, optimistic mindset and all that good stuff. But this week's call was really bad. It was really bad, and part of the reason it was bad is we spent about the first hour of the call talking about how I haven't worked out in about 2 months and how that's affecting my mood and how that's affecting my outlook and all these things. See, the thing is that I was working out, believe this or not. I know like lots of you guys like to call me fat, whatever, but believe it or not, before all of this, I was in a routine, man. I was doing Orange Theory Fitness almost every single day when I was home. I used to travel quite a bit for my job. I'm not so much traveling these days, but I went to Orange Theory almost every single day when I was home. And if I didn't go that day, it's because I needed to take a break because I had already done too much Orange Theory. And I was losing weight at a clip. I was building up muscle. I'd finally gotten to a place where my endurance was coming back to where it was like 10 years ago when I was like running marathons and all this stuff. I was so excited. I was so happy. I was feeling so good. And then everything shut down. Everything shut down. Now, you might say, well, Carlin, you can work out at your house or go running outside or any of those things. But the thing is that I have like a chronic problem with my legs. This is why I gained so much weight to begin with, because I used to run outside a lot. Again, I've done marathons, man. I used to run quite a bit. And then I started having problems with my legs where it essentially, without all the boring details, it's incredibly painful for me to run outside on pavement. And so that's not a viable long-term option for me. I can do it every once in a while, but I can't do it consistently because it's very, very painful. But the other thing is, I don't really like working out in my home. I don't like it. First off, my husband is downstairs, and though I love and adore my husband, I don't like working out around my husband. When gyms are open, we actually go to 2 separate gyms because we don't work out around each other at all. And I like to have my own space, and I like to have my own workout where I can do my own thing and not feel like I'm struggling with someone watching me struggle. And so I really have an aversion to working out at home. And so the last few months for me have been really, really difficult. And I actually ended up breaking down on the call with Joshua the other day saying, like, I've lost all the gains I made. I've lost all of it. It's gone. It's gone. The muscle I had, guys, my arms were getting like so muscular. And I say that in a good way. Like I was out lifting some of the men in my Orange Theory classes. Like all that's gone. All my endurance is gone. It's all gone. And, like, I'm even getting emotional now, like, talking about it, but I was very emotional the other day. It just feels like it's not coming back. And, he said to me, well, Carlin, do you think it's going to open again? And I hadn't even thought about that before. I was like, of course it's going to open again. But I was doing some Googling the other day to find out when exactly in New Hampshire gyms are going to open again. And I came across this article. This is from the New Hampshire Business Review. New Hampshire fitness facilities on the verge of bankruptcy. Many of the state's fitness facilities are on the verge of bankruptcy and may follow in the wake of Gold's Gym chain, which filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on Monday, if they don't get to reopen soon. So, what this is telling me is that we've now reached the point where gyms, fitness facilities, all that good stuff, they're starting to file for bankruptcy. So we may actually be losing places that we just thought were always going to be there. In fact, Gold's Gym is going to be closing more than 30 of its locations for good as the coronavirus ravages the fitness industry. This is from Business Insider. We also see that, and this is from CNBC, 24-Hour Fitness is weighing bankruptcy as well. And the thing of it is it's not just these larger chains. It's not. It's small, everyday people who have built up their fitness businesses, these personal trainers that just operate independently. I was, one of my friends commented on this post earlier today, so it showed up in my Facebook feed. This is from Charmaine Ironside. Today I say goodbye to Ironside Fitness after 10 years of building it up. We cannot make it work financially through COVID. I'm still in a bit of shock, to be honest. Even a few short weeks ago, you could never have told me this was possible. Feeling all the feelings, knowing that I will continue to serve in any way I can. This woman spent the last decade of her life building up her fitness business, being able to live her dream, pursue her dream, and now it's gone. It's gone because we're not allowing them to open. We're not allowing the people that want to patronize these services, that trust them to keep things clean, that are willing to take the risk to go and do it. Regardless of what happens, they're willing to make that choice. We're telling them, no, you can't operate. You can't make the choice for yourself. We, your government overlords, have to do it for you. When is enough going to be enough? When's enough, man? It's like, listen, I don't actually worry about places like Planet Fitness, which is also, by the way, based in New Hampshire. This article from the Wall Street Journal, why didn't this gym chain fall to earth? Planet Fitness is defying gravity while most clubs close its doors or enter bankruptcy. This explains it. The explanation is the budget gym's business model is based more on inertia than demand. With low monthly fees drafted directly from customers' bank accounts, it sells more membership than it has space for, counting on most people rarely showing up. So the Planet Fitnesses of the world are probably going to survive this. But what about these smaller boutique businesses? What about smaller independent trainers that have dedicated their lives to building up their businesses that all of a sudden are gone because they're not allowed to operate and people aren't even given the choice? People aren't even given the choice. And that's what pisses me off the most, is that you have people, like, for me, honestly, there's a Planet Fitness right down the road. I'm actually a member of it as well because I did use it to supplement other things. If the Planet Fitness down the road opened from me, I would be there in a heartbeat. I'd be there like that. I don't care. If I get the virus, I get the virus. And I'm really at the point with this where I want to be able to live my life and I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. And if I happen to get sick in the process, well, you know what? There's a really good chance that I'm going to be okay. And if I'm not, at least I was living my life. At least I was doing the things that I wanted to do rather than being cooped up in my damn house all day, fearful of what could happen if I got the virus. People get sick, folks. They get sick. It happens. It is a part of life. Most of the time, we get through it. Sometimes we don't. But why are we shutting down everything and keeping it? Listen, a couple weeks I can understand. A couple weeks I can wrap my head around that. I could even wrap my head around a month. I got it, you know? We are now at 2 goddamn months of this. 2 months where everything has been shut down with no end in sight. Small businesses are being destroyed. Mom and pop shops are being destroyed. 25% unemployment in some states. In Michigan, 25% unemployment. I don't think it's far off here in New Hampshire either. People's livelihoods are being destroyed. But no, we can just look at the government to come and save us, even though it's the government that is keeping things shut down. When are we going to say, you know what, you're adults? If you choose to trust a business and patronize a business and you get sick, at least you made a choice. That's your choice. When are we going to allow adults to be adults, to make choices about how they want to spend their time? Why? It just makes absolutely no sense to me. So I was talking about this on Twitter the other day, or yesterday rather, and, you know, I got one response. Most people agreed with me because they tend to on Twitter. A lot of the people who follow me agree with me. But I got this one response saying, oh, Caroline, you're just whining because you want to go to the gym. Well, you're goddamn right I want to go to the gym. However, there is also a link between fitness and mental health. Fitness and mental health. Now, in case you need a reminder, because I'm doing very frequent reminders lately, 75,000 deaths of despair are possible in this scenario. Research is telling us up to 75,000 people might die deaths of despair related to these lockdowns. One of the ways we can treat depression is through, say it with me, fitness. This is from UCLA Health. This is back from 2018. So a little old, but not like that old. And frankly, a lot of this stuff, you don't need the most up-to-date part like 2020 information on it. The link between exercise and mental health. A new study suggests moderate exercise is not just good for your body, but improves mental health as well. Researchers concluded this after analyzing 1.2 million adults who participated in a Centers of Disease Control and Prevention study. The study, which appeared in a peer-reviewed medical journal, examined results from 2011, 2013, and 2015. Researchers found that on average, a person has 3.4 poor mental health days per month. I wonder how that's increased in the time of coronavirus when everyone is stuck in their houses with no end in sight. But among those who exercise, the number of poor mental health days dropped by 40%. Exercise may change the way the brain functions, which could account for the decrease in depression or anxiety. The study describes poor mental health as stress, depression, and emotional concerns. After analyzing the results, researchers concluded that 3 to 5 45-minute exercise sessions a week delivered optimal mental health benefits. It is possible to get too much exercise and not see these benefits. At the 3-hour exercise mark, people had worse mental health compared to non-exercising populations. So really, you're looking at like 45 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. That's all it takes to have that nice little mental health boost. You don't want to go overboard because then you're actually going to be counteracting the benefits. Researchers hypothesize that those who favor marathon workouts may have underlying mental health conditions such as obsessive behavior, be overexerting themselves, which causes exhaustion and affects the mood. According to researchers, the activities that showed the most substantial benefits included team sports, which we're not allowed to do, cycling, which I suppose we could cycle. I suppose we could do that. I do have a road bike in my basement somewhere. Aerobic and gym activities. Look at that. Going to the damn gym. Less rigorous exercise activities were still helpful. Household chores, carpentry, childcare, and certainly people are getting opportunities to do that. Mindfulness-based activities like yoga and Tai Chi, though lower impact, delivered more mental health benefits than walking. Listen, I fully take responsibility for the fact that I'm making the choice not to work out in my house. It's a choice I could make. I just don't want to do it. And the reason I don't want to do it, and I think I kind of have this mental block with it, is that I want to be able to make the choice to go back to my gym. That is what I want to be able to make the choice to do. I have waited and waited and waited for things to start reopening. Thinking, oh, she's going to be a little while longer. She's going to be a little while longer. She's going to be a little while longer. That's what they kept telling us. And they keep pushing back the damn dates at the very last minute. When are we going? I'm sorry, like when is my governor specifically going to find his balls and start allowing things to open back up? Now, I'm being a little bit unfair. The malls have started to open in New Hampshire, so I can go to the mall now. I can go to the mall, walk around, be around people, but I can't go to the gym and work out. And frankly, like, that's really, for me right now, that's all I want. I want to be able to go to my gym. I want to be sure that my gym is going to be there, that it's actually going to open up again. Because for me, and I understand I probably sound like a whiny teenager, I don't really care because I work out of my house. I've always worked out of my house for years now. That was like my social circle, was the gym, where I had to see people, where I had my friends, where I had to see them every day. We accomplished things together. Everyone's always in a great mood, and I want that experience back. And experiences like that are more important now than ever. And my biggest fear right now is that the places that I rely on are not going to be there anymore. They're just not going to be there because you've got these people like, oh, who cares about the economy? Who cares about businesses? They're just evil giant corporations anyway. Like, you've got these people that do not understand the ramifications on individuals, on communities, on workers, frankly, that work for these types of organizations. There are so many ripple effects that are going to come out of this that they aren't even being considered by the people that are like, we have to save every single life, except that in New Hampshire, 60% of those lives are coming out of like long-term care facilities. And that's not to say, listen, man, every unnecessary death is a tragedy. I'm not going to say that some people are worth more than others. I don't believe that's true. However, there is a stark difference between someone dying of this when they're in their 80s and someone dying of it when they're in their 30s. Like I am. There is a big difference between those things. And frankly, it's the older people that will tell you that because they have lived their full life. They understand the difference. And I don't wish illness or death on anyone. I don't. But that's part of life. People get sick. It's what happens. And we shouldn't be shutting down the rest of the goddamn world because someone gets sick. You know how many deaths there have been in my state for people under 60? 4. That's it. And they're tragic. And I feel for their families. I really do, man. I'm not heartless. But at some point, life has got to get back to normal for the rest of us. And so I'm very happy that things are starting to open up again. I do worry for these facilities because we also know from research that was in that Wall Street Journal article. I even show it to you. People are fearful of going to gyms. They're fearful of going to movies. Only 22% of people think the gyms should be allowed to open. Only 18% of people, this is according to a poll done from the University of Maryland in conjunction with the Washington Post, only 18% of people think movie theaters should be allowed to open. We've got to get back to life, folks. We've got to stop living in fear, because if you spend all your time living in fear for what could be, you aren't really living life to begin with. When is enough going to be enough? When are people going to start saying that enough is enough? When are people going to start getting sick of it? I don't know, man. I don't know. I see a lot of snarky leftists basically say, well, you don't really care about people's mental health. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. You don't really care about the economy. You're just trying to get your points in to support your boy Trump. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, because that's really what I care about, and not my own health and my own sanity and my own well-being. I mean, God, these people, they're so cynical. And these are the people that are keeping us shut down. And these are the people that are writing the articles in the Wall Street Journal and maybe not the Wall Street Journal, but the New York Times and the Washington Post, and complaining on Twitter. That's who these people are. They have a vested interest in continuing to see us shut down because they want the government to pay us to sit at home and do nothing. And I just can't even imagine being so sad about your life experience that all you want to do is sit at home, not do anything, not build anything, not experience anything, and just collect a paycheck. How sad an experience is that? I truly feel sorry for those people. I really do. All right, that's all I've got, guys. If you like this video, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Please help me grow the channel, blah, 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 all that stuff. Yeah, I'm in a pissy mood right now. That was not a fun video to do. Like, I'm not upset, but like, I'm trying to grow the channel. If you like what I'm doing here, if you agree with me, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and thank you very much for everyone who already is.